CCIW is proud to participate in the NCAA Office of Inclusion's Diversity and Social Media Campaign held October 27th to the 29th. As part of this campaign, the CCIW will conduct a series of interviews where we talk to student athletes, coaches, and administrators throughout the conference and get a sense of how the CCIW membership is fostering an inclusive environment. Today, we welcome in Augustana Junior men's volleyball student athlete, Caleb Minnis. Caleb, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. To start things off, what are some of the things that you do on your campus at Augustana to help foster an inclusive environment?
So one thing that I do on campus is I'm a part of the Multicultural Programming Board. That's actually the office that I'm in right now. And with that, it's a part of the Office of Student Life. And its focus is on making sure that people feel welcome in all of the activities that we are able to offer. And we also offer forms of education in order for people to understand the many facets of diversity and culture as a whole.
Okay. What are some other ways that the Augustana campus is working to create an inclusive environment, maybe in your athletic department or even on your team?
Yeah, one thing that we've done, our team is trying to make sure that everyone is registered to vote, similar to what the CCIW SAC has been focusing on. Pretty much my whole team is registered. Well, no, my entire team is registered. And whether that's absentee or not, we've also, I'm also the committee chair for our diversity and inclusion in sports program. And so that's going to be a lot of facilitating conversations as well as events that are catered toward creating diversity and inclusion and understanding the student athlete population, because it's just such a diverse thing in total. There are also many forms of ways to find the Office of Student Inclusion and Diversity at our school as well. Many ways to inform yourself on these topics and educate yourself, as well as many outlets that are fun as well in order to educate yourself.
Great. So what do you feel athletic departments can do to foster discussion and make sure underrepresented populations are able to share their perspectives?
Yeah, so one thing that I believe that we can always do is not look towards a person who is feeling the effects of the issue. Often look to educate yourself first, and then try to see. One thing my mom always tells me is to treat people the way you're supposed to be treated. I'm sure everyone's mother tells them that, but that's really a case of people expect to be treated one way, and sometimes we don't understand that because we don't understand them. But it's our job to really want to understand and to be able to create conversation rather than creating hatred and anger. So one thing that I've suggested is really talking with your coach and creating those conversations, as well as like educating others beforehand, so that situations don't arise in which people feel uncomfortable or left out. Because often even the coach doesn't even know the right answer. However, he needs to understand why someone's not feeling comfortable or why someone doesn't feel as a part of the group as they should be.
Just for my last question, you mentioned the importance of coaches and student athletes, having those conversations. What would be some of your suggestions to help get those conversations started about diversity and inclusion?
Yeah, so one thing that Augustana was actually able to do, we had a vigil for lost lives. That was something that we did about a month and a half ago. This was something that was focused obviously on the actions of this past summer, as well as years and years before that. It was just a way for people to understand that the Augustana campus was grieving, as well as the African American students on this campus were grieving. It was a way for members of the student body to speak on their opinions on the certain situations, and for people to understand where we were coming from, that it's not a two-sided battle, but it's really just a struggle for being understood. So that was one thing that my coach was able to tell all of my teammates that they mandatorily had to go to that event. That's just one of those things that is available to the campus, and it's a thing that also the coach knew about and was able to share that information with others. Obviously, there are other things on campus that happen that are similar and may have a smaller stance, but it's really a matter of understanding the tools that are available to you and offering them, because once you have the tools, you can do really anything with it.
Absolutely. Well, I want to thank you for your time this afternoon, Caleb. It's been an honor and pleasure to talk with you. This has been a lot of great insight, and it sounds like the Augustana campus is really working to help foster these discussions. And I appreciate the work you're doing and also for joining us today.